To be honest, he's bowled a lot of overs. There's no doubt about it. But again, every test match we play, we keep that in mind. The workloads of all the bowlers, in fact. But again, like if somebody is in such a great form, you want to try and maximize that form how much ever you can, and that is what we've been trying to do with Bumrah. But there comes a time where you need to, step back a little bit and give him that little bit of extra breather as well. So we've been very careful. I've been very careful. I talked to him about how he feels and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, those things should be managed carefully, and I'm trying to do that on the field.
Jaiswal's dismissal, Snicko suggests there wasn't an edge. The video suggests there was an edge. Jaiswal went and spoke to the umpires for a couple of seconds before it went off. What's your reaction as captain to what was obviously a crucial dismissal for India?
Yeah, look, really, I don't know what to make of that because the technology didn't show anything. But with the naked eye, it seemed that he did touch something. So I don't know how the umpires want to use the technology. Um, but in all fairness, I think he did touch the ball. But again, look, it's about the technology which we all know is not 100%. But again, like I said, we don't want to really look too much into that. Most, more often than not, we are the ones falling on the wrong side of it. So yeah, it has been happening since India. But yeah, that's where I feel we've been a little unfortunate.
Captain, of course, one of the stars of this match was Nitish Kumar Reddy. The way he has batted in this series, India's second highest score, an average of more than 60. How do you talked about fast tracking him in India, but now when he's playing like this, showing this kind of maturity in Australia, how do you see his growth and the kind of potential he has with both bat and ball?
No, look, when we saw him for the first time, we saw there's a lot of potential, which is why he came here in the first place. And he's come and shown here what he's capable of. With the bat, he was brilliant. He understood the situation pretty well, read the situation pretty well, and he's got solid technique as well and superb mind. Not to forget, uh, is very strong character. He wants to fight it out there. You know, right now it's very hard to say the growth part because it's only been four test matches for him, and I hope that he plays for long enough for India in all forms and keeps doing what he does. From here, he obviously can. He's only going to go up because he's got all the tools to be very, very successful at this level.
Thank you.
Rohit, you talked about Bumrah's workload. You talked about Bumrah's workload. Did you ever during this test match feel the need of another frontline wicket-taking bowler or an option? Or are you happy playing three frontline pacers and then backing the side with all-rounders?
Look, Akash and Siraj are the frontline seamers. It's just that they've been very unfortunate not to be seen on the wicket column. Siraj, especially, is bowling his heart out. I don't think there's anything else that he can do. Obviously, there are technical aspect of his game that he's looking into. But other than that, in terms of his effort, his attitude, bowling those long spells, he's always up there. It's just that the wicket column doesn't show how well he's bowled, but so is Akash. In Brisbane and here, in both the games, he's bowled really well. Just unfortunate that couldn't get the wickets under his name. But these are the three frontline seamers that we are playing, and just everyone's job to make sure that whoever plays needs to get job done for the team. It is not about one or two individuals. It's about everyone making sure that they come out here and get the job done.
We take the last few questions.
Right, just for context around the Rishabh dismissal, did you
During tea, what was the situation?
You need to run 6 and over and 7. Rishad's a good player.
He's a good player. There's no doubt. I mean, it's obviously when you come here chasing 340 in mind, you know, we did that last time around. So there's no way that we were not thinking of the target. But to get that target, you need to lay the foundation. You need to lay that foundation for, you know, the other batters to come and play the way they want to play. We've got guys in our team who can, you know, take the game till the end, like we did in few occasions in the past. Unfortunately, you know, when Rishabh got out, obviously we lost a couple of wickets right after that, and then we knew that it was always going to be tough. Just to be realistic, sometimes I know you want to do the target, you want to chase the target, you want to be positive and stuff like that, but you've got to be realistic as well sometimes. And getting 6 and over on that pitch, it seems a little tough. Wicket was slowing down a fair bit, day 5 pitch. And then, look, when we had 7 wickets in hand, we were all positive. We were not thinking too far ahead also, and not going in our shell as well. We wanted to be positive and see where the game goes. The message was to all the batters was to just play the situation and play the game and see where it ends up. And then if the situation arises where there is a time where, you know, you can enter into that contest of putting the pressure right back on the opposition, we will do that. But we never felt that we had the opportunity to put the pressure there back on the opposition. They bowled a very good spell up front, and then obviously losing wickets at regular intervals also held us back a little bit.
On Shubman Gill, Sanju Samson told a story about like how T20 World Cup final after the just before the toss when he was dropped not picked, that you went and spoke to him why somebody they wanted to drop you, and he talks how gratefully. So what was your chat with Shubman Gill before this, and how has he taken it? And Sydney considering is sort of a similar spin pitch, or not similar but spin track, would you be wearing the same team as?
Look, I don't know what team I'll go with. We'll go there and see the pitch. Look, I had a chat with him. There is no way when you're leaving someone out for whatever reason it is, you will have a chat, and the chat was with him was clearly he was not dropped. We just wanted to have that extra bit of cushion in the bowling, and hence we opted for an all-rounder, which shouldn't weaken our batting lineup. You know, compromising a batter for a bowler was not something that I wanted to do. We wanted to, you know, bat as deep as possible, and along with that have the same combination. Along with that, to have a bowling attack which can take 20 wickets. You know, so we considered everything, and we ended up compromising him, unfortunately. But again, look, with him, there was never a doubt that he was not batting well or he was not scoring runs or anything like that. It was just to get that combination where we can cover both bases, batting and bowling. We opted for that option.
He understood.
Of course, I mean everyone has to understand that, because eventually we don't make personal decisions. It is in the best interest of the team. We want to put the team ahead and think about what is the right combo for this particular venue and this opposition. So that's how I plan, you know, picking up the team. Sometimes, yeah, you can see there's been a lot of changes in the team, but sometimes you got to make sure that whatever suits the conditions, suits your team, and where you can cover all sides of the facets of the game, you make that decision, and that's what we did.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.